All right, members of the culture. I'm Ra. You are here. Welcome in, everybody, and welcome to Real Talk. This is Real Talk with a real collective, where we have real conversations across an array of topics about this hobby that we love. So, with that out of the way, your understanding and your permission, let's do this. I think it's only appropriate that we start out with why. So, today we're going to talk why. Why do I collect at all? So that's really an interesting question. Um, why do I collect at all? Man, I collect to escape from the world, and that's being honest. We all know that the world, we have our good days, we have our bad days. Everybody's going through something, it seems like. And I personally choose to come into here, into the culture cave. And when I'm here, I escape what I have going on. You know, I come in here and it's peace. There's no thinking of bills. There's no drama. There's no BS. There's no nonsense. It is just me admiring, appreciating something in my collection. Sometimes I take time and I away just to do it because I haven't spent any time with this particular Magneto figure in quite some time. I love the fact that the hands are magnetized. You see that right there. People always ask me that. But yeah, the hands are magnetized. This is one of my favorite figures. It was made by Hano Studios. And I really, really, really uh, like this figure. It's one of my favorites. As I fail to get the fingers on here to get him to hold this. Probably should have left alone, right? Nonetheless, this is really cool. I love the head sculpt on this. It is a figure. Like, it's not a statue, for those that are wondering. Yes, it moves. Like, you can't bend, right? It's an actual figure. Because people are thinking, is that a statue? No, it's actually it comes from Sideshow, but it was Hano Studios. And I love this Magneto, to be honest with you. I think they did a fantastic job, but I'm getting off topic. So why do I collect? Well, as I said, I collect because this gives me peace. This gives me joy. This gives me time away from the world because it can't beat you down. And I think that it's what's crazy is that sometimes people don't understand that this is my peace, right? Like someone that drinks or smokes cigarettes or does something like that. I'm not judging you for that. If that's how you get peace, if that's how you get away from the world, if that's how you calm down, if that's how you bring yourself down to a level where you can face humanity, right? If that's what you need to do, man, then do it. You won't hear me judge you for it. So the same way that's what you do, this right here is what I do. This is what collectors do. We come in, we look at our collections, we admire them, and we just go to we escape. We go to another world. Sometimes we think about, I talk about nostalgia all the time as being a drug, man. If they could sell nostalgia, I mean, I don't know, it'd be the most expensive thing in the world, but it would sell like crazy. To go back and be a kid again. I'm not just saying that because I wouldn't have bills. I'm saying that because it took me back to a time where we went outside. Kids nowadays are on the phones and all that, but we went outside and we played with our toys. We took more time to just relax, man. We had fun. We enjoyed each other's company. That's just a lost art these days, and this reminds me of that, if I'm being completely honest. So why in the world would I not do this? This is my escapism, and we all need it. And like I said, some people smoke cigarettes, some smoke other things, some drinks, whatever you do, you play video games, whatever you do to escape from the world that keeps your sanity and helps you get through, more power to you. For collectors, it's looking at the collection, it's admiring it, it's posing it, it's taking pictures of it, it's those kind of things. So when someone asks me, like, why do I collect it all? This is why. This is my piece. So why do I collect what I collect? To be real, that's a darn good question. Why do I collect what do I collect? Where others just see toys or plastic or disposable income. What is actually here is a painstakingly, carefully curated collection. Nothing in here is by random or by accident. I'm very careful and very particular with how I choose to do things, right? So when it comes to my collection, and I admit it is vast and it's varied, but it's done that way on purpose. Everything fits. Everything has a theme. Everything has something going on that I can tell you about if you ask. Those that do visit, like my people that I was on my podcast, which I'm going to shamelessly plug, Catch the Fade every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Please make sure you're checking it out. My co-hosts understand that it is varied, but it's carefully curated. No randoms, no disrespect to. And when I say random, like random characters, yes, but just a bunch of random characters that don't make any sense in a collection, no. But shout out to Brother C. Barrett, about the randos. But yes, when you're asking me why I collect what I collect, it's careful curation. I like multiple lines. Nothing against people that just do one thing. So if you just did Marvel Legends, or you just did McFarlane, or what have you, or you just did Mythic Legions, more power to you, right? But me personally, I like more than one thing. I like pizza, but I also like hamburgers. I also like chicken tenders. You see where I'm going? I like a lot of different things, and that is why I collect what I collect. I mean, it's just got to be varied. I have multiple universes all going into the same universe, if that makes sense. So I call it Raj Universe 411, right? But I've got multiple things going on different shelves. You guys all know my love for a certain particular shelf that you'll see momentarily. And that just encapsulates why I do what it is that I do. Like that particular shelf right there, and that man right there, I ride or die with Black Bolt. I'll die on that hill. That's my guy right there. Whole Inhuman set. Shout out to Clever's Multiverse. But you see, folks, it's carefully curated. So I collect a bunch of different things, but I collect them because I like them. I collect them because they fit what I have going on. I got more than one theme. I don't know anybody that just has one particular television show they watch. I don't know anyone. I mean, there might be somebody that does, but I don't know of anyone. I don't know of anyone that does that. Usually people have multiple shows that they like. They may have one favorite. They may have several, but you get where I'm going. It's curated for a reason. Why do I share this? Super interesting question, actually. Why do I share this? My channel was started, to be honest with you, about a year ago for mental health reasons, and that's the truth, man. That's why I do it. I decided that I wanted rather than write down a diary that I could just read, I wanted something that I could look at, go back in time. Like, sometimes you go back years later and you read things you wrote. I want to go back and look at this so there's a timestamp of that particular part of my life and how I got over, how I coped with it, right? So instead of a diary, I just did a vlog, turned into a YouTube channel. I love doing it. So that's why I share, because I felt like maybe there was a chance that somebody else might have had a mental health struggle, might have found peace in collecting something, whether it was Legos or action figures or gym sneakers or whatever it is. I figured there might have been somebody else out there like me. So I wanted to do my part to be available to help somebody by sharing my story. And that's why I share this. Why did you stop? And why did you start again? Another good question. If you followed the channel any time, then you know that I did get out of it due to a relationship I was in. And I valued the love and affection of this person more than to tell her that I was a collector. I hid that part. For the most part, I suppressed it, rather. And that was a terrible mistake that I would never, ever make again. And I would advise anyone that collects against that. Anyone. If you got a hobby, keep your hobby. Don't suppress that, because it's a part of you. And if you really love what you're doing, then it is impossible really to stop. You'll yearn to do it again. I promise you, you will, if you really love it in the first place. So if you got out and you were done, we get why you stopped. But if that's the case, why start again? Because honestly, there was no way I couldn't start again. As I told you, this gave me peace, it gave me joy, and that relationship might have been over, but where was the joy? Where was the peace? I needed it. I needed it bad, right? And I didn't have it. So where was I going to get it from now that the relationship was over? Well, I realized I had to go back to the starting line again, and for me, that brought me back here. Not Street Fighter, but rather brought me back to collecting, because it's what I was doing before, and I realized that that's where my peace was. 110%. It was in collecting, and I needed it back in my life. It was missing, and I found that joy, man, and I will never let that joy go again. I promise you, ever. There's no way I could let that joy go, man. I mean, and it's hard. I get it. You may not understand it. As I said, if you, whatever it is that you really like to do, whatever your hobby is, whatever you're passionate about, that's what collecting is for me. It just brings me, no drug, no anything could give me the peace that collecting has given me. It saved my life. And I promise you, I stand 10 toes down on business about that. So at the end of the day, we all have to be who we got to be, right? You got to be yourself. You can't be anybody else. That's what I say. Be you. Everybody else is taken. So as a collector, be that collector. If that's your piece, get your piece. There's no reason for you to try to do it and seek it through people, right? Peace to me is not something you can gain. I mean, you can enjoy the company of others, but I don't think you can necessarily gain the type of peace I'm talking about through another person. This requires soul searching. This requires a deep, introspective look at yourself, your life, where you are, where you want to be, who you really are, what makes you happy. Those things are on the inside, and the only way for you to know those things is to take that deep look. And I promise you, if you find out what it is, and I'm saying collecting because this is real talk from a real collector, and I'm assuming that by watching this video, you either are a collector or you're considering becoming a collector. Either one, fantastic, right? But if that's the case, right, find your joy in collecting. Collect what you want to collect. It's in your house. It's your hobby. Don't let what someone says on the internet or out in public shape your opinion of you. Who the hell are they? It's your story, man. You write your story, not them, right? I don't care who, I don't care. Don't let anyone influence you. That's even me. Don't let anyone else influence you or stop you from doing what you want to do, chasing your dreams or seeking your peace, man. That's your peace. You got a right to it just as much as the next person. So for me, it's collecting, and I'll be damned if I let anyone else ever stop me from what I'm doing. I've often said till they put me in a box, this is who and what I am, a collector. And if that's not something anybody else is comfortable with, that's fine. You know what I mean? You go your way and I'll go mine. But I'm not going to stop collecting for anybody. I'm not going to stop being raw for anybody, and you shouldn't either. So I really appreciate you taking your time here for real talk with a real collector. I will see you all in the next video. And the next time we'll have some more real talk, I'm sure. And if this video affected you in any way, hit you positively, let me know. Go in the comments down below. Let me know why you collect, what you collect, and how you feel about this video. Thank you for your time. Until we meet again, please continue to stay tuned. Please continue to stay collecting. And above all, please continue to stay great. God bless, and I'll see you all on the next video.